Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariana and today I'm going to do a video about my experience going to Juarez City. I had to go there to get my residency, so stick around to this video. I'm going to talk about my whole experience there. You can skip to the part for the actual immigration process. That's going to be further in the video, but I'm going to talk about my whole experience there. So here we are in the airport. We're about to leave to Texas, and yes, we had to take our 1-year-old son with us. And here we are, we arrived at Texas. Okay, so our lawyer told us that it would be easier for us to go to Texas, El Paso, Texas, and then to get a taxi to take us to Juarez City. So that's what we did. We had to cross the border to go to Mexico in a taxi, and they gave us this number that we called, but the person was not answering their phone, and they were part of the immigration. The lawyer, some of the lawyers there, they recommended that number, but we called and they didn't pick up. So that was like the kind of sketchy part about getting there, was that we had to get a taxi that we trusted to take us to Juarez City from El Paso. So we found one. It was a little pricey. The first one we found was charging us $100, and we said it was too much, and then we found another one who was charging us $75, so we had to take that one. And it was this older man, and he was nice. He was showing us around the city once we got to Juarez, and it wasn't bad at all. The only thing was his AC wasn't really working, and it was super hot. We went the end of May. So yeah, so this is our hotel. My husband found it. It's called Maria Bonita, and it's close by all the offices for my appointments I had to do there. And it has a buffet, a restaurant buffet downstairs, and it also had a pool. And here we are. We only went to the pool like a couple times, maybe like 3 times that we stayed there. We stayed there for 2 whole weeks. We were looking forward to staying at this place because of the buffet there that we were so excited about, but honestly it was a disappointment. The food was not good. They had a morning buffet for free for the people that were staying at the hotel, and it was okay. My husband and I don't eat meat, so the whole time we were there we just ate eggs and beans for breakfast. There wasn't much to do there. It was kind of boring. So we were there on the weekend and we didn't have any appointments, but we found out about this bus that takes you out on tours, and it picks you up from your hotel and it drives you around. It takes you to some fun places with more people, and they also drop you off back at your hotel once it's over. It was like about 6 hours long. It was nice because we didn't have much to do there. We didn't have a car to drive around with, so it was nice to get out of the hotel and look around the city, and also gave us a different perspective of the city there. This was one of the things that we liked the most about going there.
Por el mexicano Sebastián. This egg was built by our Mexican artist Sebastián. Él dijo que se hacía una manera de que personas encontraron cosas y cosas que representan a Dios. Yo que es el don de la tierra. si ustedes vienen aquí a la izquierda.
Careful, Christopher. So here we are back at the hotel. It was hard being there for 2 weeks. Okay, so this is mostly about the hotel. There's other hotels that we saw once we were there. They were like super close to all the offices. If you have to get your fingerprints done, your medical examine, and also your interview, there was a couple hotels that were like super close. This hotel, Maria Bonita, it was like blocks away from the offices, and you also had to cross the street, which was dangerous because there was no stop lights or any like crosswalks. All the sidewalks were all like messed up, and like it was hard and dangerous to cross the street and walk on the street because of like the traffic. There's a lot of traffic right next to the hotel. And if you're traveling with small children, like my 1-year-old, it was hard to entertain him for 2 whole weeks inside a hotel. Because, like I said, they had a pool, but we weren't there much. They didn't have a courtyard or like a yard to like go outside and like relax. It's like one of the things we should have looked for. The food was not good there either. This is probably just our opinions, but it wasn't very good. The breakfast buffet was okay for us. It was close to it was right next to the mall, but the other hotels that were close to the offices, they were right close to the mall too. So honestly, having the mall there is not like a big deal because it's a big mall, and then there's more hotels with the offices nearby. So that's just our opinions on the hotel. Also during the night, they had like events, which was pretty good. I thought that was a good thing. They had like events going on at night. The only bad thing is that if you have children, small children, that you can't leave at the hotel with someone. You can't go. They don't allow children, because I believe the events were taking place at the bar during the night, and they didn't allow children, so we couldn't go to any of the events that they had. So yeah, and then sometimes they would have like parties there, and like it would be really loud because they would have like bands playing, and you can hear everything from your room. So that's the hotel experience. So this is just showing you guys the mall there. The mall there was pretty nice. It had a lot of entertainment. Cause you're gonna be there for a couple weeks. For us, it was 2 whole weeks, and there wasn't much to do. So like we were super bored, and we like got out and went to the mall. And there's some cool things to do at the mall, like this jumping place for children. It was our son's 2nd birthday. He was turning 2. Unfortunately, we had to spend it over here, and we took him there. He had lots of fun. Here we are in the hotel celebrating his birthday. So the mall seemed pretty safe. It was clean. They had a lot of food options. We've only tried like one restaurant there, but we didn't like it. They had a lot of stores, and they had a lot of cool things to do there if you're there for a couple weeks and you run out of things to do. So this was the 2nd weekend that we were there. We went to this museum. It was mainly for children, interactive for children, and I had a high expectation for this place because a lot of people were saying that it was good, but honestly it was okay for me. We spent like maybe 2 hours there. I mean, it was better than just staying at the hotel and not doing anything. So they had this park out right outside the museum. It was really nice. I was hoping that we could stay longer, but honestly, it was like 106 degrees outside, and it was too hot for us, so we had to leave. But they had animals that you could feed. They had like music. They had food stall. They even had live music playing, and they had so much like delicious food, and you could buy things there. But it was too hot, way too hot for us. We had to leave because I'm also was pregnant, and the heat was making my blood pressure go down. And here we are in the hotel. A few places that we ordered from was Little Scissors. It was really good, the pizza there. We also ordered McDonald's. It was okay. Burger King was not that good. The whole time that we were staying here, we are just basically eating fast food. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my immigration process. So we got there Monday midday. We didn't want to arrive there too late once it was getting dark, so we made sure to get there early in the day. Taxis were running, and that's how we got to our hotel. Crossing the border wasn't bad at all because it was like Monday and there wasn't that much traffic. I heard that the weekends and Fridays are really full. There's a lot of traffic going both ways, going towards the US and going towards Mexico. So I had my first appointment. That was Tuesday, the next day. That was for my medical exam. I was honestly like nervous and scared about the whole thing and like the medical exam because I like heard and then I saw videos of people saying that the workers were really mean to the people there, and but honestly my experience was nothing like that. The medical experience, they were really organized. They for us they had my number and they called us once we got to Mexico, and they asked us if we wanted a ride to our hotel from the airport in Juarez. But I told them that we arrived in Texas and that we had to drive to Juarez. So then they gave me another option if I wanted to get picked up in the morning to my medical exam, and I said yes. I asked if my child and my husband could go with me, and he said yes. And then I also made sure that there was a waiting area for them to wait for me there, and they said they had one and they had an AC, and it was pretty big area for them to wait. So once I got there, I had to wait in line on these chairs. They had chairs, thankfully, because being pregnant and I couldn't stand there like for too long. But they had chairs that you could wait on, like they had numbers, and then once the person goes next, then you go to the next chair. I think the whole process took like 2 hours. When we first got there, I checked in. They did eye exam first, and then they took me to another room. They were sending the people to another room, and then the people that were waiting, family members, friends that were waiting for them, they had to stay there. And then in the other room, they did your blood. They draw your blood, and they do the urine test. And after the urine test, they send you to different places. Men go to one place, and then women go to another place. And for me, women, they gave you like a little paper robe to put over. You had to take your shirt off and your bra off to do the x-rays, and I was glad that they gave us something to cover with because I didn't want to like just expose myself to everyone there. And then I was pregnant, and I told them that if it was okay for the x-rays. They said it was fine, and they put like lead like things over my stomach, and they just needed x-ray from my lungs to check lungs. So that was that. It took a little while because there was a lot of people there, but it wasn't so bad. The nurses were nice and respectful. After that, we waited a while to get like an exam, like a physical exam. They take you to a room one by one, and then you have to take off the robe and you just wear your like underwear. And I think they check for tattoos or like scars or something and stuff like that. Then they ask you about if you do drugs, if you had any injuries or surgeries, and that was it. After that, they take you to get your shots. Yeah, but for me it was cheaper because they told me that since I was pregnant, they couldn't give me the shots that they needed to give me. Also, they were only gonna give me one, but I showed them my immunization record. Even though they didn't ask for it, I showed it to them, and they said that I just had gotten that one shot, so they weren't gonna give it to me anymore. And my total was like $250. So yeah, that was a good like relief for me, because I saw someone else's. It was this woman. She was asking me about the dollars, how they were doing pesos, like if it was 20 pesos for $1, and she was trying to do the math, and then she showed me her receipt, and her receipt was saying $800 for the whole thing. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was glad that I didn't have to do that. So if you have medical insurance at home, I suggest you getting your shots at home, and then show them your musician record to them, and so they don't have to charge you and give you extra shots that you might already have. So that was Tuesday, and then my next appointment was Thursday, and that was for the fingerprints. And it wasn't so bad. It was pretty fast, but the guards at the fingerprint place were like really strict. It was super hot when we were there the whole 2 weeks. You go at the time of your appointment that you have to go at right at that time. You can't go earlier, because if you go earlier, they won't let you go in. Then you go in line, because there's big lines, and then you ask them what line is for. Like mine was like at 2:30. You ask them on which line is for 2:30, and then you just wait there. And then once it's time, then they let you guys in. So when you're there, you're not supposed to have your phone on. This guy in front of me got in trouble, and he got kicked out for having his phone on. They tell you to turn it off before you go inside, and once you go inside, they ask you for your phone, and if your phone is on, they tell you to leave, or to go to the back of the line. This guy got lucky because he was able to go to the back of the line, but sometimes they tell you to just go home, to not come back. So listen when they tell you to not bring your phone or to turn it off. So yeah, and then my appointment, I believed it said 2:30, and I thought it was at 2:30 the whole time. And then when I got there, they checked the time, and they're like, no, this is not the time you're supposed to be here. So they told me to leave, and I had to wait longer in line. And that was my mistake, because I thought it was at 2:30, but it was at 2:40. So yeah, once we got in, it was a small room. There's no waiting area for your friends or family. They just have to wait outside, and there's a lot of people waiting outside. it's really hot, so I suggest you like bring sunscreen and water. And then after that they do your fingerprints, and that's it. That's the whole thing. So the medical exam at the medical office, you're also supposed to have your phones off. You're not supposed to have them on. So then the next appointment was my interview. That was the following Monday. And my experience there was fine too. It wasn't that bad. The guards are pretty strict too. I had to go inside by myself. They didn't allow any family members or friends to go with you, so my husband had to wait outside with my son. There's other people waiting outside, but if your hotel room is close by, then I suggest you like let your friends or family wait for you in your hotel room. But since my husband didn't want me to go by myself, and he like had to come with me and had to bring our son with us. Like I said before, there's a lot of hotels nearby that are super close by that you can just like cross the street and then it's right there. But our hotel was a couple blocks away. Okay, so it was Monday, and it was at, I believe it was at 8:30 in the morning. You go, it's a big line, a huge line. You get in line, and then they let you inside. You go through security. In this line, you're not supposed to have your phone at all with you, so you have to leave it at your hotel room, or if you have your family, your friend there with you waiting outside, tell them to take your phone, because you're not allowed to have your phone. If my phone turned off, so yeah, if they see you that you have your phone with you, they will kick you out and they won't let you inside. That happened to this woman in front of me. We waited so long in line to get inside, and then once we got inside, we went through security and they checked her bag and they saw that she had her phone, and they took her out. They kicked her out. And yeah, don't make the mistake to bring your phone inside the interview place. Bella, go. So my case was, I was able to get my residency through my husband because he's a U.S. citizen. So we got married like in 2017, and that's when we started our paperwork. We got our lawyer, and she was the one that printed out all our paperwork. She was the one that made our appointments, and yeah, she like basically did all the work. And honestly, I was like nervous to like go into my interview because I was scared of like the questions they were going to ask, if they're going to be like super strict and rude and like yell, because I heard people get yelled at. But that wasn't the case. The first day, which was Monday, I went, I just gave them my papers. I gave them my birth certificate, my husband's birth certificate, and our marriage license. And then they told me to come back the next day. They gave me another appointment, and I believe the appointment was like at 9 in the morning. So they sent me back, and then I was supposed to be there the next morning. And then once I went back in, it took a while because there was a lot of people in line waiting to go inside. And then it didn't take that long, honestly. I kind of got lucky because once we got inside and we got through security, we were sitting in chairs. It was really warm, so like with the weather, my blood pressure was like lowering. So I sat on the chair. I thought I was gonna pass out, honestly, because it was hot and I was standing for a long time in line. But once we got in, they sit you in chairs, and then I like closed my eyes and I was waiting because it's a long wait. We were waiting, and I was sitting down and I was closing my eyes on the chair, And then this one of the guards that was working there, she asked me if I was pregnant, and I said yes. And then she asked me how many months I was pregnant, and I told her I was 7 months pregnant. And then she went to like talk to somebody, and then when she came back, she told me that I was able to go inside, and I went inside. And then there's another guard there, and he let me in the office where they were doing the interviews. And then some older guy asked me why I was in there, and then I told him that someone sent me there, and he was like, "Are you pregnant?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "How many months?" And then I was like, 7. And then he told me to leave and go back outside. And then the other guy that was standing there told him that the lady had sent me there. So he had no argument with that, and then they just let me stay in there. And I was in there maybe for a couple minutes, and then we were sitting on a chair, and then we got up, and then we got in line to be called, because there's like these windows, like when you go to the DMV, there's like little windows, and people go to each window that is empty. So that's what we did. So that's basically what we did. And like you can hear everyone's conversations. Like they all seem respectful to people that were going for the interviews. I didn't see anyone getting yelled out or getting voice raised at. When I went for mine, when I was next, it was this guy, and thankfully he spoke English, because I understand a little bit more English than Spanish. So he was like, do you prefer English? And I said yes. And then he just asked me the questions in English, and the questions weren't like hard. They were pretty easy. It was just a couple of them. There wasn't many. The first question was, what year was I married with my husband? Where he was born? What year did I go? Did I go to the U.S.? Was that the last time I left Mexico? Like, was it the first time and last time I left Mexico? And I said yes. And then he asked me the date that I arrived in Juarez for my interview, and I told him. And he asked me how many kids we had, and I told him. And then he asked if we had any other kids, like with different partners, and I said no. I can't remember that much about the questions, but they weren't that bad. I think he asked me how old I was when I came into the U.S., and I think that's about it. He asked me for this paper, and I got nervous because I didn't know which one it was. I had a folder that my lawyer had given to me, and there were so many papers in there, and he was like, can I have this one? And then I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. And then I just gave him the packet. I was like, here you go. I don't know which one it is. And then he was like, it's okay. I have it in the computer, but it would have been easier for you to just hand it to me now. But that was the only thing, the only inconvenience, the only scary part that happened at the interview. And after that, the paper, he was like, oh, your visa was approved. And that was it. And I said, thank you very much. Have a good day. And I left. And that was everything. At that point, it was Tuesday, and we were like, my husband and I were excited to like finally leave Juarez City, because we were there for a week already. And honestly, we were getting bored, and we were also running out of money, and it was just too much being there. So we were hoping that we would get my visa, because they mail it to you. And they mail it to me at the same place I did my fingerprints. But It was Tuesday for the second interview, and then we were hoping in 3 days we would get my visa through the mail because we wanted to get out of there. But unfortunately, we had to stay there like the whole weekend until Monday. We contacted our lawyer again because we contacted her a couple days before, asking her if she got the mail to confirm that it was ready to get picked up, because she had the password, and they give you a code, and with that code you have to look up if it arrived or not. So she had all of that. We didn't have it. So we called, and she said she didn't have it until Monday. I called really early in the day, in the morning, and I asked if it had arrived, and she said that it did. So we were so happy that it finally arrived, because we were there for 2 weeks already, and we just wanted to get out of there already. So yeah, once she confirmed that it was there ready to get picked up, we quickly got our things ready. We left before checkout time at our hotel. We went to the place where I got my interview, not the interview, the fingerprints. And there was like nobody there because it was really early in the day, so there was like no lines. I was nervous about that, but I just walked in. I told them that I was there to pick up my passport, because they gave you a stamp on the passport. Not a stamp, it's like a ID on your passport. And then they just told me to go inside, and they're like, just make sure your phone is off. And I said okay. And yeah, that was about it. I got my passport, and I was so happy. We finally left the place. So I hope you guys watch my video, and I hope this helps you if you feel nervous, scared about going there. I hope this video helps you not be so scared. I was scared at first. I was nervous, especially because I was pregnant, and because I had to take my 1-year-old son with us. So I was nervous about the whole thing, but honestly, it wasn't so bad. It was like good experience. Besides just the whole waiting part inside the hotel, we were kind of bored. So thank you for watching my video, and don't forget to subscribe.